Let's start with a simple truth. Most people don't struggle at work because they lack talent. They struggle because they lack structure. They are busy all day, they attend meetings, they complete tasks, but at the end of the week, they're not sure what real progress has been made. Deadlines slip, expectations are unclear, and work starts to feel overwhelming. The difference between chaos and clarity is not effort, it's thinking. And that's what this module is about, learning how to think like a project manager, even if that's not your official role. When people hear project management, they often think of complex tools, certifications, or large corporate teams. But in reality, project management is much simpler than that. Project management is the ability to take an idea, turn it into a clear plan, execute that plan step by step, and deliver a specific result. That's all it is. For example, launching a new product, organizing an event, creating a marketing campaign, delivering a client project, these are all projects. The key difference between successful and unsuccessful execution is structure. Without structure, you rely on memory, guesswork, and last-minute effort. With structure, you rely on planning, clarity, and intentional action. And that's what makes work feel easier and more effective. Now, let's talk about why most projects fail. It's usually not because people are incompetent. It comes down to three main problems. First, lack of clarity. People start working without clearly defining what success looks like, so everyone is moving, but not necessarily in the same direction. Second, poor planning. Tasks are not broken down properly. Timelines are unrealistic or undefined. Responsibilities are unclear, so things get delayed or forgotten. Third, weak communication. Team members are not aligned. Updates are inconsistent. Assumptions replace actual information. And this leads to confusion, frustration, and mistakes. Now there's how to avoid all of that. Always start with clarity. Ask yourself, what exactly are we trying to achieve? What does success look like? Who is responsible for each part? When should it be completed? When these questions are answered early, everything else becomes easier. Another important shift is understanding the difference between projects and daily operations. Daily operations are repetitive. They are the tasks you do regularly to keep things running. For example, responding to emails, handling customer inquiries, routine reporting. These activities don't have a clear end. They continue indefinitely. Projects, on the other hand, are temporary. They have a defined start and a defined finish. They are created to achieve a specific goal. For example, launching a website, running a promotional campaign, setting up a new system. Why does this matter? Because if you treat a project like a daily task, you won't plan it properly. And if you treat everything as urgent, you lose focus. Clarity here helps you prioritize and manage your workload better. Every project operates within three key constraints: time, cost, and scope. Think of these as three connected parts of a system. If one changes, the others are affected. For example, if you want to complete a project faster, you may need more resources, which increases cost. If your budget is limited, you may need to reduce the scope of what you're delivering. If the scope increases, meaning more work is added, then you will likely need more time or more money. This is why project management is not just about doing tasks, it's about making decisions. You are constantly balancing these three factors, and the better you understand this balance, the more realistic and effective your plans will be. Here's something important. You don't need to be called a project manager to act like one. If you are responsible for getting something done from start to finish, you are already managing a project. Your role is to bring structure to the work. That means creating clarity so everyone understands the goal, breaking the work into manageable tasks, assigning responsibilities clearly, tracking progress consistently, and ensuring the final result is delivered. When you start thinking this way, something changes. You become more organized, more proactive, more reliable. And these are the qualities that make people stand out in any workplace. At this point, your mindset should begin to shift. You stop seeing work as random tasks coming at you. Instead, you start seeing structure. You begin to ask better questions before starting anything. You plan before you act, and you focus on results, not just activity. This is the foundation of project management, and everything else you'll learn in this course builds on this way of thinking. Now it is time to apply what you've learned. Think about a current responsibility, task, or problem in your workplace. Instead of seeing it as something you just need to handle, frame it as a project. Write down your answers to these questions. What is the goal? What does success look like? What tasks are required to achieve it? Who is involved? What is the deadline? Keep it simple, but make it clear. This exercise will help you move from reacting to work to managing it with intention.